Let me tell you another fascinating story about the history of shoes in South Africa. Welcome to day 6 of 12 days at Footcast. In South Africa, we have a great deal of indigenous shoes that are rooted in our history and cultures. Not this nonsense that's on these articles that shows up on a search engine and says, Africans did not wear shoes until Europeans introduced them to us. Today I'll be talking about the classical South African design called Veldskoens, also known as the vellies. To break it down, veld means field, skoen means shoes. So, Veldskoen is an Afrikaans name. Now, these old shoes are one of the indigenous shoes in South Africa dating back to the 17th century. That's about 1600 to 1700. Yes, of course. These were traditional shoes for Khoisan people, used for hunting, farming and gathering. Of course, it is recorded that it dates back in the 17th century with the arrival of Dutch settlers. However, they long existed before that. The Khoisan tribal folklore make known that the shoes date back about 1000 years before Dutch settlers, which is about 400 years ago from now. And they were leather shoes cut from a single hide. Where did you get that? This decade, please. Okay, the Veldskoen website. It's important to acknowledge these sources for documenting our history. I got mine from my Veldskoens website. It is stipulated that these shoes were adopted by European settlers who appreciated their simple yet functional design. Yet, we know that they might have been modest about how Europeans adopted the designs. They probably fought for years in disagreements about a lot of things, of course. Eventually, when Europeans finally managed to colonize South Africa, they probably took the design by force for themselves. Of course, they were mind-blown by the design functionality, comfort and classic look. This became a token of pride for South African culture and a demonstration of the craftsmanship that South Africa has. Not this crazy noise about Africans being primitive and walking barefoot until Europeans taught us shoes. These articles had proven the opposite to be true. Imagine the design sustained from more than 1400 years ago till date. The entire world knows and celebrates the design while incorporating modern designs to showcase their contribution to this classic craftsmanship. What still disturbs me is that we were stripped of our culture, that even our ancestors' creation lost its name. Veldskoen and vellies is not the original name. Yes. And we also have young local cobblers like Sibukhodi as a Shainism brand. I want to send my shout outs to the My Vellies and Veldskoen article publishers for contributing into the footwear industry. See you on the next part of Footcast.